Hey chickies, okay, today we are doing a nighttime in the city. It's almost like kind of like a New Year's one, but for reasons I'll explain later, it's not really, but it is at the same time. Anyway, let's get into it. I really hope you like it. So for this one, I'm starting off with a white polish, and it's a new one for me, Color Club's French Tip. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with this. Now, as far as I know, nobody's actually ever come out with a 100% all the time perfectly opaque in one coat white polish, but this one most definitely comes really, really close. It is very good. It's lovely and thick, but not so thick it's gloopy and hard to use. But I have to say, it may very well be my new favorite. I'll have to use it a couple more times to know for absolute sure, but I'm really impressed with this. Now I'm also going to be using a glitter polish on my index and my middle nail, so I'm going to go ahead and use Unt Peel Off Base Coat. I think it's Unt. I could be wrong. It's Unt probably. Who knows? Anyway, I'm using that so that taking off the glitter polish is much easier. Glitter polish that I'm using today is from China Glaze. It's China Glaze's Season's Greetings, C's spelt S-E-A-S, and it's called Let's Shell-Ebrate. It's kind of cool. Now I'm doing one very thin coat on the nail before coming in with a sponge. This is a lovely polish. It's definitely got a very dusky, light dusky pink base that the glitters are in, and the rest of them, like the glitters, are gold and like a pinky purple. It's really pretty. Before applying the glitter with a sponge, I'm going to be using Simply Peel's Liquid Latex Skin Protector. What's it called? Bliss Kisses Simply Peel Liquid Latex Barrier. That's it. Sometimes I get so tongue-tied, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to use that so that I don't have to do lots of glitter cleanup on my skin, because that's probably even more difficult sometimes to get off than it is to get off the nail. Now, of course, I'm using my latex free sponge, which I buy on eBay. I buy them in packs of, I think it's 25. It's like $3 or $4 for 25 sponges, and I normally buy about, 5 or 6 packs at a time, and they last me about 6 months. Seriously, it's very, very good. Value for money, that's for sure. Links will be in the description box down below as per usual. Also, for those of you who don't know why, or maybe are confused as to why I'm using a sponge to add the glitter, the reason for that is the sponge soaks up most of the actual polish base that the glitter is sitting in and leaves us with just basically glitter on the nail with a little bit of clear or semi-clear polish, and that way we end up with a not so chunky nail, which is always best. Next, in preparation for the gradient I'm going to do over the 2 white nails, I'm going to add a coat of Seche Vite over these nails. And the reason why I do that is it prevents the sponge from accidentally lifting up that base color and you ending up with a patchy gradient, because you don't want that. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm using a latex-free sponge, and the rest of the colors are also from the China Glaze Season's Greetings collection. The blue or navy blue, sort of dark blue shimmery polish, is called Joy to the Waves. And then the purple, which is called Seas and Greetings. And then finally we are using Snow Way. Oh, I'm also going to be using a little bit of Memento Mori from Cert Colors. So the order for the polishes on the sponge is firstly the black, then the purple, then the blue, then that sort of, it's kind of white, but it's a shimmery light blue called Snow. That's the Snow Way one. It's definitely got a little bit of blue in it. And they've all got shimmer in them, which I don't normally like, but these polishes actually work really well together. So, go figure. Now, I will say though, because these polishes are China Glaze shimmers, you will need to do it more than probably 5 times. Like, refresh your sponge, dab, 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 refresh your sponge, dab, dab, dab. But the payoff in the end is actually worth it. So, I didn't find it too much of a chore. Now once the gradient was complete, it's time to go ahead and remove whatever it is that you're using to protect the skin around your nails. Please tell me you're using something to protect the skin around your nails. I forgot to mention before, I'm using liquid latex from Bliss Kiss called Simply Peel. I'm not going to say the whole thing again because it just gets me too confused. And once that's complete, I'm going to go ahead and add another coat of Seche Vite. This is not the last one, I have to say, just so you know. And that will give us a nice smooth surface to paint on. Now to paint, I'm using black acrylic craft paint and this fabulous brush which Ocean Nail Supply sent me. This is called the Presto Art 11. It's very similar to the RKF brush I got from Stylish Nail Art Shop. Now I don't know if, now this is the sort of mid-length liner brush they call it. Well, I think it's called. Anyway, very similar as you can see, but I'm not sure. They may very well have a similar brush to my maxi brush, the very teeny little one that I have that I've got from Stylish Nail Art Shop, and we, you know, because they're not open, we can't get it anymore. So fingers crossed I will be able to find a link for you, and if I do, I will put it down below. At the very least, you'll be able to get a similar one to the RKF brush, so that's a good thing. Moving on to the actual design for this nail, the city skyline, and I mean really what you need is a fine detail brush to do this. There's no getting where, there's no two ways about it, there's no getting around it. You need a fine detail brush to do this. Once you have the fine detail brush and the acrylic craft paint, because I wouldn't recommend trying to do this with polish, although I'm sure there's some very talented people out there who can do this with polish. I just don't happen to be one of them. And you just paint some buildings, and they don't have to look like any particular building, any building in particular. It can be any building. Basically, it's just very fine lines, and then you fill in a couple of your little squares because, you know, some of the lights are off. Some people are being environmentally conscious and turning their lights off. So really, basically, it's just a heap of rectangles. And you don't even really have to be that neat. Like, you don't have to have the most straightest lines in the history of everything. It just has to resemble buildings in a night skyline. That's pretty much it. It's really, you know, it's not rocket science. We're not saving lives. I wish we were, but we're not. Now I'm going to speed up a good portion of this video because otherwise we'd be here for hours, and you know, like you don't want to be here for hours. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to speed it up quite a bit. And finally, once you've completed your design and it's all lovely and dry, you can go ahead and seal it in with your favourite top coat. Of course, I am using Seche Vite as per usual. And that's it for this one. I really hope you liked it. Now, I did like how it ended up, but I have to say, you know that feeling when you've had an argument with someone and you leave the room and then you think of all of the fabulous things that you could have said and they were so clever, and you just wish you could go back in there and start screaming at them again, but you know you've lost all of your power by then because you've already left. That's how I felt about at the end of this. Once I'd finished, well, I mean, it was a couple of hours later, and I didn't have time to go back and redo it. I wish I had have put some glitter in the background to sort of be like a night sky, or put some little teeny tiny little fireworks in the sky as well, and I didn't, and I wish I had, because I think it would have been a really cool like New Year's Eve kind of deal. But anyway, What are you going to do? Doesn't matter. It's okay. No big deal. So anyway, I did, I did love it. I loved it in the end, and that because the polishes from China Glaze had a bit of shimmer to them, it did look a little bit like a shimmery sort of stars in the sky kind of night sky. So that was, that was, in the end, that was fine. Anyway, I will put links up the top in the cardi section thing to a couple of the other night skyline ones that I've done that I really like, so that if you want to go and check them out, you can. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I know it's really long. Again, you really can't come to my channel and expect to see like really quick nail art. It's just not going to happen because, we've got to go through the whole thing. And then I've got to talk a lot. So, that's just me. Again, I wanted to say Happy New Year to you all. I also wanted to say, which I forgot to say in my previous video, which is really stupid of me, I really wanted to say thank you. Like a really big thank you. Thank you for watching my videos, for giving me thumbs up, for subscribing, for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. It makes me feel better that I'm not sitting here talking to nobody. So, it's only a small channel, but, it's my channel, and I really appreciate your support of my channel. I do. Anyway, I'm going now because it's getting smushy and mushy, so I love you all. I think you're all fabulous, and I'm going now. Bye, chickies. I'll see you in 2017 if I don't upload a video again before then, because you never know, I might.